So we're going to start on lesson 2, which is pivoting. In order to work on pivoting, we're going to have to take a little refresh on what we were doing with footwork. So I've got my TheraBands with me. I'm going to lay them out in front of me in a straight line. I'll come back to this TheraBand. If you remember our stances again, squat width apart, face 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock, depending if you're Southpaw or Orthodox. So in my case, I'm Orthodox, I'm going to face 2 o'clock. For the Southpaws, face 10 o'clock. Squat width, you know you can squat, you can duck. In my case, the other way. So what you can do, just as a refresher, if you follow me, and you can do this as Southpaw or Orthodox, I don't really mind. I'll do it as Southpaw for the purpose of this one today. Right, so hands up, and step forward, step back, step forward, duck, step back, duck, step to your right, duck, step to your left, duck, step forward, duck, step to your left, duck. Okay, I'm going to switch it over for Orthodox. So pretty much the same thing goes. In my case, facing 2 o'clock, upper body facing 12 o'clock, hands up, duck, step back, duck, step forward, duck. Note that I'm never touching the line here. My feet are close to the line, but I never touch the line with my feet. Step right, duck. It stands to reason that I've taken 2 steps to my right, so it should take me 2 steps to my left to go back on the line. So 1, 2. I'm still able to squat every time. Step back, I'm able to duck. Step forward, duck. Okay, so I'm going to face you for the purpose of this one again. Just as a bit of a refresher, this is. So when I step forward, you step back. So I step forward, you step back. So you step forward. You step to your right, to your left, and then every time ask yourself, can I duck? So step to your left, duck. So you should be facing me. You step backwards as I come forwards, and duck. Step to your right, duck. So you should always be able to duck. You don't always have to duck, you should have the ability to duck. Because at any point someone comes forward at me, I can duck their punches. My feet have to be in the right place. So step back, step forward, step right, step left, step back, duck, step to your left, and you should be back on your line again. Duck, okay? So now we're going to work on pivoting. Now the trick with pivoting, for training purposes, you're going to pivot 90 degrees. So I'm picking a spot, since I'm Orthodox, just to the left of where I stand. So my toe literally is touching the floor there. So I'm in my stance, and I want to face 90 degrees that way. Okay? So I'm literally going to pivot exactly that way. I'm going to pivot and face you again. I'm going to pivot and face that way. Now the trick with this is the distance between your legs has to be exactly the same when you land. And you have to be facing exactly that way with a new line of attack. So what's going to happen, just to give you an idea, I can duck, I can come up. Now if I pivot and land, I can duck again. I know that the width of my legs are exactly as I left them, because the common mistake is to pivot and you land with your feet too close or your feet too far, and you've gone too far in more than 90 degrees. Wherever you are, you need to be facing exactly 90 degrees for practice purposes. So if you can imagine this in a boxing sense, what it will be is someone stepped forward to attack me and caught me in the corner, and I turned and pivoted to get out of the corner. Okay, but I've kept my hands up, so once again, keep your hands up through the whole movement. I don't want to see anyone drop their hand and then, oh, I've got to put my hands up. The hands have to stay up the whole movement. Okay, so let's do that again. So hands up. So you're going to pivot and you're going to land perfectly. So I'm going to do it with my back to you this time. So you can do the pivot. So for Orthodox fighters, I'll put my foot over here, I'm in my position. I'm going to pivot off to my right. So literally, I'm going to turn and land. And that's it. I'm going to pivot back to face where I was. Pivot to the right. Pivot back to where I was. Southpaw fighters, left-handed fighters. So switch the stance. So it's your front toe that you're pivoting. Your centre of rotation is your front toe. So same thing goes. I duck, I pivot. I'm able to drop down. Again. And turn and land exactly where I should. Okay, I made a little mistake there. I actually landed on my line there, which is a little bit wrong. So to check that we're doing this correctly, I've got another TheraBand. So I'm going to put the original TheraBand over here, and so you can see it a little bit clearly. I'm going to do it this way. So you should have a little T shape. So whether you do this with masking tape or something on your floor, I don't care. But the whole point is to aim exactly 90 degrees. So what it should look like is this. When I pivot, if you see my feet here, they're either side of the line still. And they're either side of this line. Either side of this line. Either side. And I'm always able to duck. Okay? So that's that one. I'll do it southpaw. Left-handed again. I'm not left-handed, so I'm never quite as good at my left-handed one. So, feet in position. And, actually I'll do it this way. So, pivot, and my feet are either side of the pink line. I'm able to duck. My new line of attack is over here. Whatever I'm attacking is over there. Back again. You notice I had to readjust there. I'm not left-handed, so I find it a little bit more difficult. But you literally pivot and duck. And duck. And duck. And it works the other way too. So I'll stay in the left-handed stance. If I pivot that way, and duck. And duck. And duck. And duck. I go back to orthodox stance. So, feet apart. Pivot. And duck. Pivot. And duck. Pivot, my hands stay high. And duck, which means I can see whatever's going on. I can block it whatever happens. If I get it wrong, I've still got my hands up here. Pivot. And duck. Pivot. And duck. Okay? So we're going to try something together now. A little practice together. So I have to put my back to you. I don't really like putting my back to the camera, but it's really the only way I can illustrate the point. So we'll try and do this together. I'm going to do it in my orthodox right-handed stance, but you can do it in your left-handed or right-handed stance. And I'll point which direction we're going to be pivoting to, but we are going to be doing side steps and stepping forward and stepping backwards. So, boxing stance. Ask yourself, can you duck? Good. So, step backwards. Step forward. Pivot to face your right, 90 degrees exactly. And duck. And step forward. And step forward. And step backwards. Can you duck? So we're going to pivot to face my sign. And I can duck. Step to your left. Step backwards. So we're going to pivot to face this wall over here. And you turn. And you land exactly. You can land in that first go. So you've got to learn to pivot exactly 90 degrees. Right? Step backwards. Step forwards. I'm going to pivot to face the front again. And I'm able to duck if I want to. Step forward. Step forward. Step back. Pivot. Check where you're facing. So if you need to readjust your legs, readjust them. So you should be facing this way, which will be to your right. So you're facing the front now. And up. Step forward. Step back. Step left. Step right. Step forward. Step back. You're going to pivot to the right. Pivot. Good. You're going to pivot so you're going to be facing away from the screen. So I'm going to be facing you, you're going to be facing away from me. And you pivot. So right now you should have your back to me at this point. You're going to pivot over to your left again. So ready? And pivot. So you should be facing that wall now. Right, we're going to do a full 360 in full goes, right? So pivot, 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 pivot. So I'm still facing the wall there. I'm able to duck each time. We'll do that one more time. Pivot. So you should see my back. Pivot. And duck every time. Pivot. So I'm facing your back now. One more pivot. Right, much better, right? So remember the hands, you've got the squat width apart, you're ready to fight at any point. So now I'm going to pivot the other way. So I'm going to be facing you, you're going to have your back to me. Right? Pivot. Pivot. So you should be facing this way now. Pivot. Facing this way now. Pivot. And you can do the duck each time. So pivot. And duck. So your back will be to me at this point. Pivot. And duck. Pivot. And duck. Pivot. And duck. Okay? So your homework from that is to make sure that your front toe, whether it's left or right, so if you are right-handed, it's your left big toe, and if you're left-handed, it will be your right big toe. So in my left-handed stance, my right big toe on the floor, I'm pivoting around that. My center rotation is there. Center rotation is there. Right-handed, other foot. Pivot. 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 And you're always able to duck. If you haven't quite got that, take a step back. Go back to the stepping sideways. Go back to stepping sideways. So literally sideways, 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 forwards, left, back. Make sure you can duck each time. Key things to remember, where your hands are and that you can duck. It means you're in position to punch at all times. I'm facing you now, I can duck. I'm in position to punch at all times. And when this is all sped up, boxing wise, it's pivoting. It's pivoting. I'm ready to duck. I'm ready to duck. And we haven't even got to punching it. So stick with that. In further episodes, we shall put the punching in with all of this. But just technique wise, if you haven't got your stance right, you haven't got your footwork right, you can't pivot, the rest of it will not come together.